Today, I want to share with you one of the most powerful functional mushrooms that can help reduce your risk of heart disease and heart attack and stroke. This is not as well advertised, but definitely we have a lot of research regarding this functional mushroom, and it is chaga. And you're going to find chaga in our 7M plus. I love it. I love it. I love it. Chaga is a powerful Siberian mushroom that has powerful blood pressure lowering and lipid reducing influences on your cardiovascular health. And this is really quite interesting. In the span of our talk already, there have been 4 or 5 heart attacks. Every 40 seconds, an individual suffers from a heart attack. 1 in 5 individuals are at risk of a heart attack. That is a crazy, crazy statistic. But I'm going to share with you how you can use chaga to reduce unhealthy LDL levels that tend to be the leading factor, the underlying current that causes clogging of your arteries and even is an underlying factor with cardiovascular impairment like arterial sclerosis. Also, chaga can overall reduce your inflammatory levels, which is a huge factor in terms of supporting your heart health. What we know, chaga has been studied, so there's been several different scientific research pieces that have identified that when patients take chaga, their LDL levels are reduced. Now, there's a direct correlation to this. LDL tends to be billed as like the bad cholesterol. And not all cholesterol is bad. HDL, kind of the label it like the helping HDL, the helper cholesterol. You want more HDL than you want LDL. And a lot of times people are flip-flopped or they're really low on HDL and moderate on LDL. But you want the ratio to be more prominent in HDL. The reason being here is that when we have free radical damage, we have single cells that are roaming through our vascular system. They burn the lining of our cardiovascular channel, the walls of our vessels, our blood vessels, the walls of our arteries, and even impair our heart health. And that damage requires a Band-Aid. So I'm just breaking down how I describe for my patients what LDL and HDL the function is. When we have a little burn in our vascular channel from a single free radical, which is not good, we don't want a lot of free radicals, we want to reduce those. Free radicals are the sign of high elevation or high inflammatory levels, so an elevation in inflammation. Those free radicals damage the lining of the vascular channel. They burn it. Well, the body has a Band-Aid mechanism, and that mechanism is produced in the liver, and it is called LDL. So LDL is going to go and basically it's a fat that functions as like a fat Band-Aid, and it allows that wall behind that burn spot to heal. And then when it's done, HDL, the helper HDL, comes and removes it. So you want more things removing. You want more HDL removing the LDL. So that's why we want that quantity of HDL to be higher. There are 2 factors here that are influential. Number 1, if you are constipated, your LDL won't necessarily be an accurate value when you're doing labs because there's this recycling of LDL in the bowels that gets absorbed up through the hepatic vein. The other thing that is influential is inflammation is the source of free radicals. So if we can lower your inflammation, we lower free radical damage. We reduce the need for a Band-Aid LDL to be present. So at the end of the day, if you can have a supplement or a functional mushroom, in the case of chaga, do 2 things: reduce your inflammation levels, which is the source of the burn that requires the LDL, and you can have it reduce the LDL. So it helps metabolize, it's a lipid lowering type of supplementation. It's a win-win. And that's what chaga does. Chaga also can lower blood pressure levels. It's very, very powerful as an adaptogenic herb, which is good for lowering stress. And when I say stress, this is internal, physiological, biochemical, neuroendocrine stress, hormonal stress. And the stress hormone is called cortisol. Cortisol is an inflammatory hormone. It serves a function when we're fighting and flighting, And in a chronic state, it causes a lot of free radical damage. So chaga addresses stress. It's adaptogenic. It helps your body adapt to everyday stressors, physiological and mental and emotional, and helps to balance out cortisol levels. And it has a direct impact on lowering those lipid levels. So I love to recommend our 7M that has chaga in it. It's very chaga forward, which means it's a prominent part of the cascade of ingredients, and it's powerful. And I find that individuals that in my practice that are taking chaga and deploying practices where they're lowering their stress levels by meditating or taking yoga and exercising, that they really can have a significant impact in lowering that overall LDL level. And it's better to do that than to take a statin, because a statin, one, long-term, it has not been necessarily researched as a lifelong supplement or a medical resource. It's supposed to be temporary, shorter term in its function. But at the end of the day, a statin masks the problem. And what we need to do is we need to go deeper and look at that inflammation, the stress, and the reason why you are elevating or having elevations in lipid levels. So I hope you will try chaga or add that to your regimen if you are looking at lowering your cholesterol, lowering your blood pressure levels, and helping support lowered inflammatory levels across the board within your body. It's so wonderful, and the research is definitely in support of using chaga for heart health.